What up, guys? Welcome to Base Damage. This week on the podcast, it's been a hot minute since he's been on it.
I think that's an underestimated statement you just said, sir.
I know, right? It has been a very long time. This is Kool-Aid, and we got
Mr. Joe Schmo.
bruh.
Mr. Buy Things on Stream Schmo. Yes, ma'am.
Now, it has been a hot minute since. Really, I feel like I should go ahead and explain this real quick, mostly because of the amount of time that's going to be used in this podcast. Basically, the space that we were using before for podcast for the group that we've done the tournaments with and whatnot has been commandeered, kind of. Basically, the guy that owns the store has just been kind of shoving all their extra stuff into that room in the corners where we would put people. And so you could still fit one or two people in there because they still do stream in there for their like card games and whatnot. But we can't fit as many people. We can't fit 4 people in there trying to do a podcast anymore. Just 'cause there's just no room. So that's why for the past couple months at this point, I've either done me and Matt doing something or collabs with people. So
Plus, personal schedule's not working with everything. We're working stuff out. We're trying to find a spot.
Yeah, we're trying to find a place for doing podcast again, and we're trying for the group because I still plan to put out podcasts one way, shape, or form. This is what we're doing basically now is having to do skipe, which sometimes it works beautifully, sometimes it just hates us. So
yeah, it depends on the day.
Yeah. Couple other things I wanted to mention real quick. We are going to be go ahead and throw out for our buddy Chris Cohn, his Twitch stream. They're streaming D&D for charity. As far as I still know, they are. I hadn't talked to him in a couple weeks as far as that. So as far as I know, it's still the same charity of they're going for Children's Miracle Network. Y'all check it out. Be much appreciated. Link in the description. As far as with the channel, today we're going to be starting going over the BanG Dream cards. Now, I'm a little bit conflicted on this because of the numbers for it. There are 19 green cards, about
60-something red.
60-something red cards, and then 40 blue cards. We could do 40 blue cards easy because I know Riaz wanted to get in on recording for that at some point, for going over the blue stuff specifically. We could do the green easy because it's only 19 cards, and I've already kind of gone through it a little bit myself. I've not gone through any of the red and blue though, but 60 cards for the red. I'm a little conflicted on how we're going to do that unless we just kind of do a rapid fire trying to go through it as quickly as possible. But even then, I don't know. I'll try to see how that works out. Me and Kyle just might try to, Joe, sorry. Me and Joe just might try to blast through it and see what we can do. So, but for today, we're going to be going over the green cards. A couple other things for the channel. Couple other Force of Will deck profiles I'm going to be putting out. I'm rendering those as fairly soon. They're a little bit late as far as the meta kind of that they could be used in, but I still recorded them back in January or February, and I'm like, I haven't put these up yet, and Joe's like, put them up on the fucking channel. So,
we're trying to bring in the crowd, boy. I'm just saying.
Also, as of the recording of this, we hit 200 subscribers.
Subs.
Yeah, bruh. So thank y'all very much. It is really super appreciated.
We'll put something out special for it. Don't worry.
Yeah. Hint towards it. Joe's wanting me to vlog, so we'll see how that goes.
It'll be fun. It'll be
sure?
fun. Don't worry.
Quit,
Oh, God.
Quit
It'll be
stabbing
fun.
whatever you're stabbing.
I'm not stabbing anything.
It sounded like you were just playing Dance Dance Revolution on your computer now.
No, I'm wiping dust off.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what that was. Okay, so for this, BanG Dream green cards is based off of one of the rival teams that shows up.
Wouldn't really even consider them rivals.
Even rivals? Not like Arise was for Love Live.
I've watched the whole thing. Did you watch the whole thing?
I've watched probably 8 of the episodes.
Yeah, no, they're not really rivals. They kind of just look up to them.
Okay.
And then they get to stand on the same stage as them.
So these are the senpais.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So the band name is Glitter Green, and basically they just made a set of just their senpai. Yeah. So we're basically just going to go over those in this one, and we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to go ahead and open these up. Hopefully all the pictures are up. As far as I know, they are. So, do you want to start us off, Kyle, or should I?
I might butcher her last name.
Might what now? Oh, but
yeah, Nananana.
Nananana. Nananana. He's like, and goodbye. Oh wait.
All right. So I'll go ahead and start it off. The first card we're talking about glitter green Nanana wannabe. Oh,
wannabe.
Wannabe. Wannabe. I'm gonna go with wannabe. Let's just go with that. So starting with this set, we've realized that they started doing this nice fancy climax thing in the picture on the cards now. So now the Climax combo actually stands out and it has it on the cards. So the first effect is an auto ability. So Climax combo. When our stage is placed on in your Climax zone, if you are level 3 or higher, put one of your cards from the top of your library into your stock, and all your characters get plus 500 for this turn. Another auto ability. Pay 1. This ability activates once per turn. When your card is placed in the level zone, look at the top 4 cards of your library. Search for up to one character with either Yuri, Nananana, Ryu, or Hinako.
Okay.
Hinako. Yeah. In the name, put it to your hand, and put the rest into your waiting room. So it's like the Angelic Angel Nozomi, just with names.
It's like Yeah, because Angelic Angel was Nozomi's basically the same as
top 4, check for a green card, put it to your hand, put the rest in your waiting room.
Yeah, I was gonna say Winter Moment Akatsuki, but it's basically the same effect on that, so you're right. It just specifically grabs the other members of the Glitter Green Band, which I think is pretty cool. Which actually she does grab herself, so that I think is pretty cool in there. So it's only 4 members of the team, quote unquote, the party. So interesting for the fact that it only activates at level 3 or higher, but that's whatever. And the R stage, I'll go ahead and look that up, because R stage gets Climax comboed with multiple cards, and I already like how this is set up. There's only 2 climaxes for it, R stage and Sister's Moment. R stage is a 1k1 gold bar, so you are basically guaranteed to get this shit going off when you want it to. So,
and if you got everything on the stage at once, considering I think everything you need to be at level 3 or higher.
Basically. So you're saying if everything is on our stage... no bad jokes. Okay. So anyway, continuing on after my bad jokes like that. Glitter Green Hinako Nijiki. If I butcher any of these names, I profusely apologize.
We both apologize.
Right. So level 1 cost, 35, 1 soul. Climax combo, when our stage is placed on your Climax zone, if you're a level 3 or higher, another one of those, even though this is a level 1, choose one of your characters, and that character gets 1,000 power, and the ability when the battle opponent becomes reversed, you may draw a card. So that's pretty cool as far as it's costless. It's just the fact that you have to be level 3 or higher. I guess, well, that's also going to help one of the other characters I know actually has like a clock shoot effect. So help them give the chance of, with 1,000 power, be able to potentially kill something easier, and then still replenish hand after having to expend resources. Pretty cool. When your card is placed in your level zone, choose one of your green characters, and then that character gets 2,000 power for the turn. Now, basically they have her secondary effect is basically where you go off of this. Rest 2 of your green characters, choose a card in your level zone and a card in your waiting room, and swap them. So this is actually really like one of their gimmicks. There are some other sets that work off of the when cards get like exchanged. I think Milky Holmes had some of that, something pertaining to the level cards and
like
level
we would know.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head. I could be completely wrong on that. It's
no,
probably not
I was
Holmes.
just saying. I mean, it's not like we would know if it is Milky Holmes. We don't have the English set. We will never get the English set unless you want to use that fun Learn to Play deck. Link in the description below. To the...
I realize where you're going with that. Okay. Funny little bullshit. There will be a link in the description for that. That's gonna be funny. But basically, because to my knowledge, we don't really have any set that works off the manipulation of cards in the level. wasn't there
experience?
Experience works off of what's already there, not swapping stuff around.
Well,
there may be some card that does it, but it's not like an entire. It's not a whole. Might be one or two cards that work with, like, mess with it, maybe across the Monogatari series. But to my knowledge, it's not like a whole. This is the gimmick the deck does type thing. Where even though Bakemono still had a whole bunch of experience stuff anyway. See, I think actually it might have been Bakemono because I think there was an effect that lets you change those out, cards that were in your level in the waiting room, to increase your experience.
That's what I was talking about. Because I
thought you were just talking about the experience mechanic.
No. Okay. I think Matt's used it before, and I think Nick has used it before on me.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I think Jenks has it in his deck too.
So her third ability triggered her secondary ability. Specifically, this third effect will also trigger other characters' abilities that go off of when stuff gets thrown into the level zone. The cool thing is you can use that at any point of the game other than the first ability. So, anyway, the third card, I'll let you take this away.
Yeah, I got it right here. All right. The third card is one of the best girls in the band, if you ask me personally, because I watched the whole show. Her name is Ryu Sava. All right. She is a level 3 at the cost of 2. I just realized there's 2 different 3s in this deck, by the way. Fun fact, I never really paid attention. The first effect is an auto skill. When this is placed from hand to stage, you can draw up to 2 cards and discard a card from your hand. And guess what? It also has a climax combo with when our stage. Alright, when our stage is placed on the climax zone, this gains the following ability for the turn. When the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, you may put that character in the clock. This ability. And then it has a third ability. This ability activates once per turn. When a climax card is placed on the level zone, it gets 2,500 for that turn. So it becomes 11k. No, 12k. My bad. I can't math.
You're fine. I had to do it myself. So,
and then it's a 1k one.
Yeah. Our stage is still 1k1. Yeah, it's all the same card. 13 off of that. If you do that, also off the other ones, being able to buff up as well. Further 14. If you do, basically because of also how that is going to be, it's when a climax is placed in the level zone. So you're going to have to use that level 1 we just mentioned to get this buff. So you're going to have to go, okay, tap for the effect, which is going to give an additional buff anyway afterwards. Throw the climax in there. You can easily get this chick up to like 15,000, 16,000 for that clock shoot ability. It's, I'm going to do this, I'm going to punch your face. So even Colossal Titan's sitting here going, okay, girl, settle down, type thing. All right, so the next is another level 3, Glitter Green Yuri Yoshigome. Is a level 3, 2k or 2 cost, 10k, 2 soul. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may heal 1, so always good for the heal on play abilities. Another climax combo with our stage climax. When the climax gets played, choose one of your characters with Nananana or Hinako, one of the other girls, so she can't choose herself or another copy of herself type thing. And this. I'm sorry. So basically, it's specifically this, and then, like, you couldn't count 2 copies of itself or whatever. And they gain 1,500 power. It doesn't state any point where the cost is played. I just realized that. Okay, so I'm guessing it's when the climax gets played, you may pay that cost.
I'm pretty sure. I think that's what that is.
Yeah,
because it's saying when our stage is placed, you choose, and then
but it doesn't say. Yeah, so probably right in here is where it's supposed to be. You can pay the cost of pay 1, discard 1. Okay, they get 1,500 power and the ability to the end of turn. When the battle opponent becomes reversed, you may deal 1 damage. I actually do like how that's set up. Also because one of the other girls lets you blind stock anyway. It pays for that. So you let that effect go off, get the blind stock, then use her ability to basically pay for itself. So you can go into your climax phase with 0 stock if you absolutely needed to, and have this go off. So if you also count her 1500 buff added to the Ryu, I think it was the last was.
Yep, Ryu.
No JoJo references. Can get her an additional 15. So if we go based off before, about 17.5 we're looking at here. So yeah, no, Ryu gets huge, like really, really huge, and that's only off of 4 of the girls. So it really just depends on what else you put up here, like buff wise, because you could have that level 1 be in the front row if you really needed to. So when the battle opponent becomes reversed, deal 1 damage. So that's pretty cool. So that is both the level 3s for it. And fun fact, I don't think there's a single green card in here that's a double rare, which still is really nice. So potential budget deck maybe in the future.
So this might be like an Arise deck?
Essentially. So
minus it's all uncommon and common.
Yeah, I know, right? The next one is you.
Oh, Hinako Nijiki.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see here. She's also a funny girl from the series, by the way. Fun fact. I'd like to throw that up there. Her ability, auto effect, pay 2 when this card is placed from stage, from hand. You may pay the cost. If you do, choose a character from your waiting room with either Yuri, Nana, Ryu, or Hinako, and its name and put it to your hand. So basically, it's a salvage. It's basically you get stuff from your grave right off the bat. And it has a bond with Glitter Green Yuri for the cost of 1.
So basically, on play, you can end up paying 3 stock to return 2 cards to your hand in some way, shape, or form from the waiting room, which is really cool. Considering this is also one of those decks that does have some decent stock production. I'll just go ahead and show it now. The other Climax Sisters moment is a trigger icon that's not seen that much or used, is the 1K1 gold bag, which basically, in addition to it going to the stock, it adds another. It basically makes you blind. Blind stock. Additionally, you put the top card of your deck into the stock when it triggers. So you end up, for 1 trigger, you get 2 stock. But this is not run as much, mostly because you don't know what all that is, and you don't want to accidentally throw Climaxes into your stock. But because the entire green set only has these 2, I'm willing to mess around with it and try it out. So going back to this is number 6 to 10. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's the Glitter Green, the Yuri Oshigome. That was the other level 3.
Yes.
So the Hinako grabs one of the level 3s. I think that's really cool. So then I'll get Natsuki, Saya's friend, which is a level 0, 2500 power, 1 soul. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may pay the cost, which is discard a card. And if you do, choose an Under the Night Sky in your waiting room, return it to your hand.
Which is a red event and backup.
Yeah. So
I have it right here if you want me to just read it.
I mean, we'll get to that later. I just want to show where it is. See, I had to go so far down.
Yep.
Okay, Under the Night Sky. Number 72. So literally have to jump from card number 6 to number 72 to know what the fuck you're talking about here. We won't go over that right now, considering we're going to be trying to go over stuff in the next podcast for Red, whenever that gets put up, because it is a lot of cards. But the fact of she's a friend of one of the girls from Poppin' Party, so even though she's with the green crew, she grabs a red event, which is still not bad, because then that means you can just splash a level 0 in there if you have to rely off this event. So it's still pretty cool.
So what I'm noticing is they're putting the 2 extra bands, Glitter Green and whatever Natsuki's band, I forget. They mentioned the name maybe once, but backstory is Saya used to be part of the band, then something tragic happened, then she stopped music. You know how the cliche shit goes. Long story short, she joins the main character's party. But they used to be best friends.
Spoiler alert.
Yuri, kind look. She is an uncommon level 0 of a cost of 0. Her effect is auto. When your battle opponent becomes reversed, choose one of your other green characters, rest it, and move it to an empty slot in the back row. Okay,
so that's pretty cool. If, like, I can see that being done funny with like if they have a zero reverser or some kind of like a clock bomb or whatever. I don't think they do. I don't remember if they do. But just being able to swing with something, even if they just suicide and they don't care, save it and then put it in the back row. So, or if you just have to like swing with like a fucking assist character and it just reverses. And, no, we're just gonna throw you in the back row anyway. So it's just a way to kind of save characters while still doing damage. So still pretty good. Next is Ryu on the stage, level 0, 4,000. So it's gonna have some kind of drawback
Backfire.
to it. Yeah, some kind of penalty. When this is placed from hand to stage, put the top 2 cards of your library into your waiting room. If there's at least one Climax card among them, rest this card. Basically, it's the same as like there's an oversized Maki from Love Live that had this effect. That's basically the closest thing I can relate it to. So it's still a pretty good beat stick, and if you don't mind a little bit extra mill, it's not bad at all. So, continuing on is your go.
Nananana. All right, she is the student council president according to this card.
Spoiler.
This is a backup card, but the first skill of it is when you use this backup, which is a 1,000 backup, free cost, you may choose a card in your level zone and a green card in your waiting room and swap them.
Okay, this interesting. It's kind of weird, like how that is set up, considering what we've seen so far is a lot of the swap stuff goes off at like level 3 or so for the most part. But either way, like if it saves you from the fact of one of the cards getting basically a 2,500 buff turns this into a 3,500 buff. If you throw a Climax in there. But I realize with that mechanic, you also have to be really careful on your timing of when you do this effect, because if you're about to refresh, you don't want to have a Climax in your level when you refresh. So it's kind of weird, but can still work. It's not as bad if you've just done the Climax combo with the R stage and you just recently refreshed, you had that Climax combo. Now you have a fresh Climax in your waiting room and you're nowhere close to refreshing. That works out much better. So then we have the level 0 Yuri Oshigome. It's a 1,500 1 soul. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may put the top card of your opponent's stock in the waiting room. If so, choose a card in your opponent's waiting room, put it into stock. Best case scenario, throw a Climax in there. That's basically what you use this effect for. Or like a potential change target. Like I know Kantai had a whole bunch of change stuff that went off like when the characters died. So that's useful in that regard. Well, the only problem is even those you could still pay the stock and the characters go in there anyway. So yeah, you're just going to want to throw Climaxes. Also, when this is placed from hand to stage, you may pay the cost, which is discarding a card. If so, choose a green character in your clock, return it to your hand, and put the top card of your library in your clock. From running To Love Rue and the Cute Pajamas Mikon level 0, I cannot tell you how useful this ability is. It's basically worded the same way. Where this is green character and the Mikon states grab a housework transformation character. This is a very, very useful effect. If you have a lot of cards in your clock, this essentially states you have a secondary hand to choose from. And it gives you access to some resources if some of your combo pieces are in the clock, and just it's a very, very good effect, and a lot of people underestimate it. So that's my 2 cents on that one.
So I mean, no, you're right.
So 11, 12, 13.
We're down to Hinako.
14, 15. So go for it, bro.
All right, Hinako, Senpai to Kasumi and company. All right, when she attacks, choose one of your green characters, and that character gets +1 level and 1,000 power till the end of the turn. She is a level 0 common.
Yes. So basically, that also states, oh, you have reversers? That's cute. It'd be a shame if I gained a level. Most of the level 0 reversers, clock bombs, stop bombs, any of those are all usually very weak in power, but because it says one of your green, she doesn't choose other, you can give it to herself, and basically just that way be able to get over stuff and reversers at level 0 and just not give a fuck. It's just, okay, that's cute, it's gonna die, goodbye. So alright, so then is Yuri, reliable big sister. She's just adorable. Okay, so this is one of the other Climax combos. This is level 1, 0 cost, 5k. Excuse me. When Sister's Moment is placed in your climax zone, if this is in the front row, all your other characters gain the following ability for the turn. When the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, you may put the top card of your library in your stock. So basically, as long as you play more than... Actually... Ooh, that would be interesting. Okay, so as long as... most of the time, you swing with 3 characters, you're going to produce 3 stock. This gives the other 2 characters... the ability to blind stock for more. Once again, the blind stock effects can be risky, but it also makes your opponent... For you, it's more risky because you don't know how many cancels you're going to have left in the deck. It's a little better when you know you've seen a whole bunch of climaxes and you want to compress. But it's also, in a way, your opponent has to be careful because they don't know how many climaxes you've sent, if any. So, they may not want to go ham on all their effects straight off. So... I just thought of a loophole with this because it doesn't say like once per turn or whatever. So if you play 2 of this, or 2 copies of her, the third character on the field, whatever it is, gets this effect twice. So, whereas you play 1 of her, you'd be able to produce 5 stock that turn. If you play 2 of her, the other character swings and gets 3 stock. You could get 7. I want to say that's how that would work out. I could be completely wrong on this. But in 1 turn, be able to get 7 stock is kind of crazy.
We can, I'm pretty sure we can set a question out.
Yeah, like, actually, we'll end up posting this anyway. So, if anyone knows the answer to that, if the effect, because I know of effects like with Kaleidoscope Elia, the burn effects stacking, with the level 3 Yami, the cancel burn stacking, I want to say that this would stack if you had 2 of her on the third character and be able to have those, because they don't give it to themselves. That's why I'm basically wondering about this. They don't give it to themselves, which would actually still be fun if you dropped 3 of her and did this. Jesus, that'd be crazy. Okay. So, I'm fairly certain that's how this would work out and it would stack on that third character, but if not, still, just getting a whole bunch of extra stock is really nice to be able to pay out your effects and whatnot. So, really cool for that. So then, the next one, go for it, brother.
All right, one of my favorite character again, Ryu with Diabeetus.
Diabeetus, I don't know.
Diabeetus. It's her little hand puppet that she uses as her second persona. This card is a level 1 0 cost with 5,500 attack. There's 2 things to it. There's a continuous downside to it, which is it cannot side attack, but it also has a good ability with it. This ability activates once per turn. When this card is placed in the level zone... My bad. When your card is placed in the level zone, this gains 1,500 power for the turn. So this can piggyback off the backup.
This can piggyback off the backup. This can also get a buff when you level. Say they haven't attacked her just yet, but you level off of another attack. You would get this buff. It's only once per turn, so you couldn't have her get that buff off you leveling and then still use the backup when they swing at her anyway. But that backup would make it so she gets 1,000 from the backup, and then 1,500 from her own power would be a plus 25, putting her at basically a 8,000 level 1 free cost. Which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So, the fact that you can also be doing this at like level 1 as well with the whole changing cards out in the level gimmick is pretty cool. So the next is Nananana Keyboard. It's a level 1 0 cost, 65 power. So you know there's going to be some kind of drawback, but still, when this is placed from hand to stage, choose one of your opponent's characters in the front row, and that character gains 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's turn. Normally this isn't not something you want to do to give your opponents buffs, but look at it this way. If you get pushed to level 1 first and can drop her, I don't care giving 1,000 power to your weak ass little level 0. So this is actually still pretty good and not that bad of a drawback. It's just the timing on it. So it's timing conditional. So you obviously don't want to do this late game in any way, shape, or form. But you hit level 1 first and your opponent still has some characters. Okay, well those characters aren't going to live, to see the next turn more than likely. give, a weak-ass little level 0 a buff that your opponent has, and just still run over it with her because she's still huge.
Yeah.
Or even depending on the other decks you're facing. Think of like all these other climax combos that go off, but then the character drops back down to really weak-ass attack. Giving them just a little, like Zekken Yuki, giving her just an extra 1,000. I know that's like the worst possible, like, example for that, I realize. But Zekken Yuki gets a buff, but then she goes back down to 4,000. So think along those lines. I know there's other ones in there in SAO that do that. So anywhere from 4,000 to 4,500, give them just 1,000. She's still over them by 1,000 power anyway. So that's whatever to me. So still pretty cool. So next one's you.
Well, I am going to talk about Cleave. Question mark.
Clive. I don't know.
Clive. I thought that at first, but I'm just. Let's go with Clive. I like Clive better.
Because Cleave is Cleave. I don't know. Go ahead.
Clive Yuri. She is a level 1, cost of 1 with an 8,000 power range. Her only skill is an auto ability. When this card becomes reversed in battle, you put the top card of your library into your clock, then rest it. So it's a mandatory encore.
You actually have experience with this effect in the blue Kantai deck that you have with Kumano.
And it's backfired on me plenty of times.
Yeah, but the fact that she's an 8K, Kumano is just a 6K before any other back row buffs. This is an 8K before any back row buffs, so which we haven't even seen that many back row buffs that don't go off outside of climax combos just yet. We're
running out of room.
And alright. Well, also because if you use that backup, she can become a 9. If you do any other effects on top of that, she can become bigger than that. But like by the time this becomes relevant, is your opponent's going to be in level 2, and they're going to be able to get over it easier. By then, you could just summon over it or something. It doesn't matter. Whereas Kumano is also a free cost, so But still at level 1, enough buffs are going off where I can understand with Kumano, it's a little bit more. It's a little more difficult because of the buff, but she's big enough where you shouldn't have to worry about it. So it's number 15. So then the last 4 cards of green is. Well, the other 2 is the Climaxes. Like, I'll still show off the Climaxes just for the fuck of it. So
yeah, why not?
Might as well. So, is this me or you?
This is you.
Okay, me. Okay, so this is simple, though. This is Ryu Sava. This is a level 2, 3,000 character backup. That's basically all it is. Now, I do like the fact that it's that big. Because that's still really cool. Like, once again, like I said, when level 2 becomes relevant for, say, that other one, okay, you're swinging. I'm going to play this, pay 1 stock out of all the massive amounts of stock that I've accrued. Plus, you're able to encore characters a whole bunch with this deck anyway, with the green deck, and make the level 1 be a fucking 11K defensively with this thing, which is funny to me. So, then the last one, go brother Nananana.
No, wannabe. All right. This is a common level 2, cost of 2. She has 2 soul while we're at it.
Always good.
First ability is an auto ability. When this ability activates, this ability activates once per turn. When your card is placed in the level zone, this gains X power. X is 500 times the number of green characters. So I'm assuming it's on your field. And then it has an encore. You ditch a green card from your hand to the waiting room.
Oh, fun fact, off that encore, you can pitch the Climaxes. Just saying.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, it says card, not character.
Yeah, real fun.
Which is...
Another fun fact, that ability, it does count the ones on the field, and it counts herself.
Ooh, so she gains 25.
Yeah, so if say this is like one of the characters you probably have set up with the rest of your glitter green combo for the level 3 setup, when you do the whole switch out the level effect, she becomes a plus 2,500. She's a 10-5 before anything else. She's essentially already the stats of a level 3 because of the 2 soul, which the 2 soul stuff's really going to come into play if you're able to drop multiples of her and be able to just run over shit and just be fucking great. Because then if you have a full field, go like in level 2, they level you to level 3 before they kill the rest of your stuff. If she still happens to be on field, or like you have multiples of this, they get so big it's going to become a problem to get over. So, really cool. Like, I try to look at the silver lining in any type of deck, regardless of the setup. I know there's going to be drawbacks to this. A lot of the biggest drawback to the green deck is going to be the blind stock. Like, keeping track of your climaxes is going to be a bitch. It's going to be really aggravating. So, they go back over the climaxes again. We have the R stage, which is the 1K1 gold bar. For anyone who doesn't know, gold bar is when this triggers, it has to go to your hand, and then you may blind stock one. So, well, one of the cool things, though, is because of how much stock this does produce with the other Climax and the Climax combo, sometimes you can make it just so when you trigger this, it goes to your hand, and you can choose not to blind stock if you don't want to. So, pretty cool off of that effect. And then we have the 1K1 gold bag, which is you gain an extra stock off the trigger. So, pretty cool. And that's the Climaxes. And that's literally all of green. Only 19 cards, but 4 different SPs. They do get an SP for each of the girls in the glitter green band. So
I wonder if they're going to be cheap.
I don't know. Like, it depends. Like, SPs, like, a lot of SP prices don't even go down until, like, way later when the sets are out of print. But it also depends on how relevant the green deck is. Like, I've still seen some very cheap SPs be only, $20, $30, especially with Love Live, but it was cards that people weren't running.
Yeah.
So, even like with the Abyssals that came out, with some of those being only like, I've seen some of those only be like $10 before, whereas other ones were, and go anywhere from 40 to 60. But it just depends on what people were running, type thing. So, it's whatever. It's still pretty cool. I will definitely be looking into messing around with the glitter green stuff for Bang Dream, just because I like the unique types of decks like that, and just really screwing around. And because everything's rare and lower, this will probably be a green budget deck. A lot of crazy shenanigans. So, because I don't think we posted a green budget deck yet on the channel.
No, the only busted budget deck we've really posted was the Kill a Kill deck we just posted not too long ago.
Well, Kill a Kill was blue, the Ilya deck was blue, and Raigeki was yellow. So we don't have like a red and we don't have a green just yet, so this will probably be for green. So, anyway, other things we're going to be looking for and looking for in the channel later, since basically this is going to become like a talking thing now. Because we still got a little bit of time. Basically, going around, once again, like you said before, a lot of stuff for the podcast has been timing issues, getting everybody's schedule straight. Once we get a day where everybody's schedule is kind of open, I want to get all the people who were in the previous tournament for the channel be able to come together and do a podcast to discuss how that tournament was, as well as discuss how some tournament stuff is going to be later on between giveaways and whatnot. Another thing, we're just going to kind of go ahead and mention in this, an update video will be posted later for this, but we're going to be trying to open up a TCG player account and try to sell some stuff up there. But that also means, like, the stuff that I pull, or the stuff that we pull off of different box openings. So you'll see a lot more box openings when it comes to that. If it got, or just various shit, I might just grab like a whole handful of packs and just record it, and if anything worth it gets pulled out of those packs, I'll post up that little short video or something. I don't know. But we'll be trying to advertise stuff that we are selling and try to, hey, what are people looking for type thing. I can try to look for stuff from other people or other, for, trading or whatever. If we go to conventions or if we go to regionals or whatever, we try to get stuff and whatnot.
Speaking of which, since we're talking, and
might as well go ahead and mention that what we're aiming for this fall, we're gonna be trying to go to the Florida regionals.
We already got the hotel room ready to go. Only thing we really need to work out is transportation,
which shouldn't be too terribly hard. And then, like, obviously gas and whatnot. It's just gonna be it's a long ass drive.
Which Joe is down to drive.
Yeah, we are in North Carolina, so it'll be quite a few hours to drive down there, but it's a straight shot. It's not difficult. It's in the fall. It's in October is the Florida regionals. So the fall Florida regionals, we are going to be trying to aim for. We're going to be trying to go to that. Once again, earlier how I stated, Joe wants me to vlog stuff. We'll probably try to vlog some of that and try to...
road trip.
This guy loves some road trips now. So, but yeah, no, we're gonna be aiming for this and really gonna be trying to make this be our first regionals that we ever go to, potentially first of many. But
Plus, we plan on meeting some people while we go.
Yeah, because we know several other people from the podcast group that are going to be down there. Probably punch a couple other people in the face while we're down there. Not listing any names. I'm just kidding.
Are we?
No, we're not naming any names. Just kidding. No one from the podcast group. Let me tell you that now. We're not going to be punching anybody from the podcast group. Anywho, but yeah. We are going to be meeting up with them, hanging out with them, and probably end up doing like a collaborative podcast at the regionals or something or other. If should everything go as planned, this will be freaking awesome. So, but yeah, what other thoughts do you have, Brother Joe?
Oh well, I was thinking because my big thing is we gotta. Trying to get people into the game is an essential part. So what I would like to do is get more budget decks out there.
Okay. Another one that I'll be trying to work on, something one of the other guys mentioned that I did a collab with was talking about doing... basically, someone from his locals stated his girlfriend does not want him running an SAO deck that has any girls in it whatsoever. So, yeah, me and Moroku are trying to work on an all Kirito deck for and be able to post that up. So it'll be cheap. It'll be a very cheap deck.
Would the Trap Kirito count as a female or a man?
It's a guy. Like, it was a feminine looking. The Gun Gale Kirito was a feminine looking avatar, but even the avatar still stated that it was male. So it just We'll never know because the angle of where he's he's naked underwater, we won't ever know because we couldn't tell from that angle.
True.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah. Sure. So still, this one's gonna be this podcast is fairly short. The next one will be much longer. I figure we're just gonna bite the bullet and just plow through all of them real quick. So with that, thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you have not already. Please check out JOESCHMMO's channel, link in the description, as always. Any other closing words, brother?
Remember, neuter and spay your animals.
I'd say another one, but because I've been watching a whole bunch of SAO Abridged. Remember, winners don't use drugs, except steroids, in which case use lots of drugs. Just kidding. With that, peace out for now.